What's up guys? Today I'm going to do a review of the MP5 Bolt SWAT Tactical. I've looked online and I could not seem to find any reviews of the tactical variant. So what I'm going to do first is show you the box. It's not an unboxing, but it's just basically showing you what came inside it. The picture on the front is not the same. That is the standard MP5. It's not the tactical version. That's what comes inside the box, is the tactical. It's a bit strange why they'd put the standard picture on the box and not the tactical version. Firstly, you get a set of instructions. You get a 200 round capacity magazine, like that one, just like so. You get a test certificate also. So that's that. You do get some stickers as well, but I think I've already used those. So that's enough for the box. I said it's not an unboxing, it's just a review. I'll get into why it's a tactical a little bit later on. This is my first ever video. I've never done anything like this before, so try not to roast me too much. Right, here it is. You have the MP5 Bolt SWAT Tactical. When you hold this gun, it feels great. There is a lot of weight to it, and it feels amazing. You definitely know that you've got it in your hand. It's constructed from polymer and metal, so the bottom receiver, the handguard, the trigger itself, all the switches and the stock are polymer, and your rail systems, bottom rails, top rails, sights, front and back, and your barrel flash hider are all made from metal. The internals of this gun remain a little bit of a mystery. I've looked online again and I've tried to find out the basic internals and I can't find anything. The only thing I do know is it has a version 2 steel reinforced gearbox with a 6.03 in a barrel. As this gun is a recoil shock, beating heartbeat is its BRS system, and what that does is when you install a battery, the bolt which is here will move backwards and forwards, imitating a real MP5. I will show the bolt in action later on. The bolt system can be deactivated by pulling this charging handle back like so, and what that does is it temporarily disables the bolt system. It will also give you an increase of FPS up to 341 FPS with the bolt system deactivated. With the bolt system activated, you get an FPS rating of 312. Also, with the charge handle locked back, you can take a look inside of the chamber, and that is where your hop up is available. If you push forwards on this little black tag here, you will remove hop, and if you pull backwards, you will apply hop. To close the hop chamber gently, take the handle, and just pull it up and just slide it forward. Don't do what most people do. They call it the HK slap. With the bolt back, they tend to slap the bolt like that. It's no good for your gun and it will break it. Do it gently. You know, it will break. Just leave that for people in the movies. Right, we'll go on to some of the features of the gun now. The receiver, the top, standard rotary drum sights. You can twist, and they do have numbers on. I don't know if you can see, it's going to be a bit difficult. Different numbers on, so you can set it to however you feel comfortable. Fixed sight at the front, fixed iron sight, which is great, but also 20mm RIS rail on the top. You can install various optics on there. It can also be removed, if you can see the screws. So if you damage it, you can take it off. If you want to put a longer one on, you can do that. The gun has an ambidextrous magazine release catch at the bottom. So it has a paddle mount here, and there is also a switch just there on this side as well that can also release the magazine. It has an ambidextrous fire selector. So if you can see just there, you have safe, semi, on full auto, but if you turn it round, it's also the same on the other side. So it is great for, you know, if you've got left-handed friends. I'm right-handed, that's why I say that. I've got a left-handed friend. It's absolutely brilliant for him, so he can use it. There are 3 sling points on this. Basically, the first one is located here, just near the mag well, and that basically I would avoid using. You know, you'd need a specialist sling for that. They're not very reliable. If it's there if you want to use it, but I wouldn't do so. The other 2 sling points, there is one located just here, as you can see. There's a loop there near the flash hider and below the front sight, and there is one here just below the just near the stock, and you also have one on the other side. They're the ones I would recommend you using. I basically have a sling that I will show you a bit later on, which I feel that's great. Front flash hider, if you can see, can be removed. So all you need to do with this is there's a little clip just here. Basically all you do is you slide it back until it releases, and then you just twist and pull off, like so. And it's a little cap on the end here, so all you do is you unscrew, like that, and what that reveals is a 40mm counterclockwise threaded. So, you know, you can add tracer units, suppressors, any other flash hiders if you wanted to. So obviously to place it back on, you just place it back on, screw it back on like that, take your flash hider, slot it back on, and then just twist like that, and then relock the clip, like so. Towards the back of the gun, you have a retractable stock, which can be adjusted to 2 positions. There's a little paddle just here. All you do is you flick it out, and you move it to 1 position, flick it again, and move it to its last position. To push the stock back in, you just press the paddle, slide it forward once, and slide it again to its original position. I stated earlier that it was a tactical version of the MP5. The reason for this is, if you can see, it has rails on this side that you can see, and it also has rails on the other side and underneath. That is amazing if you want to mount torches, lasers, pec boxes and grips underneath, whether it be a foregrip or a vertical grip. Basically what I'll do now is I'll show you how to install the battery into this gun. As you can see on this side, there is a pin which is located just here. All you do is you push it out until it comes out, and you pull it out, and then gently pulling down on the bottom so it just releases and revealing the mini Tamiya cable. As you can see inside, that is where the battery would go. It's a very small compartment, so you're a bit fixed of what batteries you can put in. However, that is the battery I use. It's a 7.4. I don't, however, put my battery in here. I have another method of how I put the battery in, so I'll get to that a bit later on. So what I'll do now is I'll show you the battery. I'll put the battery in, and I'll show you the mechanical system working. As I mentioned earlier, you just go ahead, plug the battery in. Can be a bit of a pain sometimes, but we'll get there in the end. There we go. Right, that's the battery in. So if you take a look at the ejection port, you'll see on semi, you can just see it moving. On full auto. Right, now if I lock the bolt system back completely, you can now see that the bolt system is deactivated. It does also be a little bit. It also seems a little bit quieter when the bolt system is back, but you'd only really notice that if you had a suppressor on it. So what I'll do now is I'll show you how to reassemble. So obviously you take the battery off ever so slowly. Take your bottom. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that nothing gets trapped. So you push the cable down, and what I do is I line, I don't know if you can see, the bottom up so it just slots in. So it's locked in place, and then you just push down until it clips. And what you need to do is you make sure that the holes here are lined up. So you may just have to push it down a touch. If you've pushed it up too far, just gently. It can be a bit of a pain to do. So that's it. So you line the holes up, and then you just push the pin. Oh, that's not right. Oh, there it is. Push the pin back through. Like so. That's it. That's it reassembled back together. I'll show you what the gun does look like with the magazine in itself. So obviously you just place the magazine in, push it tight, make sure it's locked in place. And there you have it with the magazine inside. To remove the magazine, you just flick the handle around and there you pull it out. Right, I've shown you all the accessories. I've shown you all the bits and features of the gun. Now it's time for me to show you what I would do and how I would run mine, a few of my accessories. So I'll just pop the gun down for a second. Firstly, I have a couple of optics to show you. This is just basically a standard red dot. That's so, there's no magnification on it. It's just, there's two different colours, red and green. You can change the crosshair by pressing a switch at the back. That is absolutely brilliant for using on that MP5. It's the sight that I use. I do have this one, more of a rifle scope type. Has a magnification of 3.25. Has 3 different colours, blue, red and green. Iron sights on the top. It's not really the one I'd use on the MP5. I have used it, but I won't really use it anymore because it's more of a AEG rifle, assault rifle sort of based. 2 magazines, both different, made by different people. This one here is made by Cymer. I don't know if you can see, I had to do a few slight modifications to this one to make them fit because they were a bit tight. However, this one is a ASG, which is brilliant because they fit really well. So I recommend if you're buying any more magazines for your MP5, ASG is the way to go. Vertical grip, I just use a stubby vertical grip, and it also, obviously, with it being the tactical version, I can install it onto the bottom like so. Flashlight I use is a Nupro NX600. It's this one here with the mounted pressure plate. So basically I just, to the side with the charge handle, I put it onto the gun like so. And then this, I can thread this through various holes of the gun so it comes back round. So then when I do have my grip, I can tape this cable here to the grip. So obviously then when it's on the gun, it illuminates the flashlight without me having to press any buttons or anything like that. Right, I mentioned earlier about the battery and how I install it into my gun. What I use is one of these. People in the airsofting world will know what one of these is, but for the people that don't know, I'll explain. What it is a PEC box. More expensive ones would have a torch and a laser at the front. Mine doesn't have any of those, it's just basically a dummy box. And what you do is you take the little clip off the back, you unplug it, and your battery actually fits inside that box. And then you can poke your cable through, there's a tiny hole just there. You can poke your cable through, and you can basically put your lid on. There's a lid. Just make sure you don't trap any cables when you do so. And because it has a Picatinny clip on, you can mount it on the side of your gun, like so. Some people would say that doesn't look very cool, but I think it looks cool. It looks okay, but you know, you're putting less strain on your cables, so you're not damaging your cables there. So that's the way I install the battery. I don't put it under here. I put it in a PEC box on the side. I thought it was a great idea because I asked somebody online, you know, oh, what am I going to do? How am I going to install the battery? I can't find a battery small enough. And that's, you know, they mentioned the PEC box to me and it was a great idea. Suppressors, I will use, well, it's not really a suppressor, it's more a sound amplifier, so it's not really a suppressor, is it? It makes the gun louder. It's by Novetzky. It was purchased off Amazon. It was like a copper colour, but I wanted to spray it black. It does give us like a brief pop when you pull the trigger, which is quite good. This is a beauty. This is the Novrich suppressor. Yes, it does look big. It does look big when it's on the gun, but believe me, it is brilliant. It's foam filled, 14mm counterclockwise thread, so it can go on not just this gun, it can go on any other any airsoft gun that you have. Big shout out to Novrich for this. Absolutely fantastic piece of kit. I do have a few other bits and pieces of his. If you want one of these, head over to novrich.com. Everything else can be bought from most retailers, airsoft retailers and Amazon, bits like that. Finally, this is the sling that I purchased. I think it's brilliant because it's bungee. It's got like a bungee effect to it, so it's really durable. So obviously what I do is with mine, I take the clip and just put it on the front like so, and then onto the back, one of the back loops just like that, and then obviously there you have it. It's really springy, it's great, you can adjust the size of it, and that's that one. That brings me to the end of my review, my personal experience when customising it. I hope you've all liked the video. Leave a comment in the box below. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to get back to you and answer. Thumbs up if you did. If you didn't, then, well, too bad. Thanks for watching.